welcome to Serene Sleep Journeys. I'm Mia. If you've enjoyed my channel, I invite you to take a moment to subscribe. Tonight's story is called Secret Garden Under Moonlight. In the distant city of Alves, as night falls, the city gradually immerses itself in tranquility. The moon, like a white gem, hangs in the sky. Its light penetrates the clouds and illuminates the winding rivers and ancient stone bridges below, making the entire city look like it is covered with a soft silver gauze. Edmund, this mysterious and legendary thief, was walking quietly through the city on this night as usual. He was fast and nimble, like a nocturnal cat, unable to catch even the smallest sound. Edmund wore a dark cloak that made him almost blend into the night. His eyes are bright and alert, shining like stars in the night sky. His unique intuition can always guide him to avoid danger and find his target. On the edge of the city of Alves, there's a vast lavender field. The night breeze blows gently, bringing waves of light, floral fragrance. This fragrance passes through every corner of the city, making people feel calm and relaxed. After completing his mission, Edmund would often walk alone in the fields, letting the scent of lavender surround him, as if it could wash away all the troubles and sorrows in his heart. At this moment, the moonlight shone on Edmund's cloak, forming a soft light and shadow. He stood on an ancient stone bridge overlooking the peaceful flowing river below. Under the moonlight, the river water glowed with silver light, like countless little stars jumping on the water. Edmund's heart softened with this peaceful and beautiful scene, and his breathing became slow and deep. He felt harmonious coexistence with the world. On nights like this, Edmund is not only a master thief, he is also a soulful poet and a lonely traveler. Deep in his heart lies the desire for beautiful things and the pursuit of freedom. This desire and pursuit allow him to always discover the unknown, beautiful corners of the city, as well as the gentle and pure emotions in people's hearts during his night explorations. The city of Alves at night, following Edmund's footsteps, slowly unfolds its secrets. Every building and every street looks particularly charming in the night. Edmund's story, like this night, is full of mystery, charm, and fascinating. Edmund, the legendary thief in Alves, his name is whispered in the shadows of the city, and his whereabouts are as unpredictable as the night wind. In this quiet night, Edmund prepared for his next adventure, targeting the most luxurious and well-guarded Raskov villa in the northern district of the city. This villa is not only a symbol of wealth, but also a stage for Edmund to display his extraordinary skills. In the night, Edmund walked through the lavender fields and and set foot on the road to Raskov's villa. His steps were light, as if every step was dancing in harmony with the night wind. Arriving outside the villa, he stopped and looked from the shadows. Under the moonlight, the villa has strict walls, and every corner looks so clear and bright. But to Edmund, these were just mysteries waiting to be deciphered. Edmund first bypassed the guard in the front yard. Like a vigorous cheetah, he used the intricate flowers and sculptures in the courtyard as cover and quietly approached the villa. His eyes were sharp, and every movement was carefully calculated to ensure that he was like a part of the night, leaving no trace. Once at the villa, Edmund shows off his true skills. Using a sophisticated set of tools, he easily cracked the advanced security lock on the villa's back door. The door opened slowly without making any sound, and Edmund entered the secret territory of the Raskov family. Inside, Edmund drifted like a wisp of smoke over expensive carpets and ornate paintings, his movements both graceful and efficient. His goal was not gold and silver treasures, but items that had real meaning to the urban poor. He accurately found an important document which related to a piece of land in the North District of the city that was about to be developed, and the residents on the land were facing the fate of being forced to relocate. Edmund placed the document gently into his pocket and began to pull away. His departure was as silent as his arrival, and even night breeze seemed to be keeping this secret for him. As he left the villa and walked through the lavender fields in the night, his heart was filled with contentment and peace. He knew that this operation was not only a testament to his skills, but also a support for the silently ignored city residents. Late at night, Edmund returned to his hut, hidden on the edge of the city. He took off his cloak and sat quietly by the window, looking out at the peaceful night sky. The stars in the night sky seemed to be blinking at him, and the moonlight shone on his face, making it look particularly gentle. At this moment, Edmund felt unprecedented peace and contentment, and his heart completely relaxed with the tranquility of the night. The night of this story not only witnessed Edmund's skill and courage, but also reflected the tenderness and justice deep in his heart. Under this quiet night sky in the city of Alves, Edmund's legend continues, and his story, like a touch of tenderness in the night wind, quietly soothes every listening heart. On another quiet night in the city of Alves, Edmund embarked on a new journey. This time, his mission was not only for a nighttime adventure, but also with an important document to prepare for those who were about to face the crisis. relocation brings a glimmer of hope to distressed residents. The night sky was clear and the stars twinkled, seeming to light the way for Edmund's actions. Edmund walked through the city, and every step he took was on a track paved by moonlight. His destination was the city's north side, where residents faced eviction due to upcoming land development projects. This document reveals some unknown information that can affect the progress of the development project and gain more rights and time for residents. Along the way, Edmund passed through pieces of familiar scenery. Ancient bridges looked more majestic in the night, and the river glowed softly under the moonlight. He walked through fields of lavender, and the faint fragrance of the flowers seemed to add a touch of tranquility to the night. Eventually, Edmund reaches the north end. The houses here are relatively simple, and the streets are a bit narrow. But even so, this place still has its unique tranquility and beauty at night. The moonlight shines on every house, covering them with a soft silver veil. Most of the residents have fallen asleep, but Edmund can feel the strong community atmosphere here and the close connections between residents. Edmund carefully placed the document in a place where he thought the residents would find it the next morning. Every movement he made was so gentle and careful, like he was handling a precious treasure. After completing all this, Edmund stood quietly aside, looking at the houses sleeping quietly in the night, feeling a deep sense of satisfaction in his heart. The night breeze blew gently, and Edmund knew that when the residents discovered the document the next day, a glimmer of hope would ignite in their hearts. He didn't stay long because the night was still long and he had other secret tasks to complete. But this time, his mood was different from usual because he knew that he was not only going on an adventure, but also bringing a ray of light to the residents of the city in his own way. Edmund quietly left the North District and disappeared into the night. The moon was still high, and the stars were still twinkling. But on this night, a certain corner of Alves City became unusual because of Edmund's actions. This quiet night is not only the appreciation of the beautiful scenery in front of you, but also the desire for justice and hope deep in the heart. In Edmund's story, everyone can find peace, tranquility, and expectations for a better future. As Edmund quietly left the North District, the night continued to darken, and under the starry sky, Alves City entered the quiet of the night. Edmund's footsteps did not stop, but his heart was filled with anticipation and peace for the upcoming challenge. This night, he plans to visit another secret of the city, a forgotten garden. The legendary garden contains ancient secrets and countless stories. Its existence is not only an adventure for Edmund, it is also a spiritual exploration. Edmund walked through the silent streets of the city, each step appearing extraordinarily light. He skirted familiar landmarks, passed through hidden alleys, and finally came to the location of the fabled garden. The entrance to the garden is hidden behind an ancient stone wall covered in creepers, and only true explorers can discover its existence. Under the late night moonlight, Edmund gently pushed open the iron gate of the garden. The door shaft made a slight creaking sound, and then the door to another world opened. The sight in front of him made Edmund hold his breath for a moment. A secret garden illuminated by the moon appeared in front of him. It was full of various flowers and plants. They exuded a faint luster in the night and seemed to tell the story of ancient times. Story. In the center of the garden, there's a long abandoned fountain, and its sculptures look particularly mysterious in the moonlight. Next to the fountain, several rows of stone benches are entangled with vines, waiting quietly like witnesses of time. Edmund walked gently, his eyes lingering in every corner of the garden. Everything here seemed so calm and beautiful, as if isolated from the hustle and bustle of the outside world. While exploring, Edmund discovered some old books and toys placed in a corner, which led him to guess that this place might have been a secret refuge for orphans. Under the moonlight, these forgotten items exuded a unique warmth, seeming to tell Edmund the laughter and dreams of children in the past. Edmund was so moved that he decided to restore the garden and make it a secret oasis in the city, providing a haven for those in need of comfort and hope. He began weeding around the fountain, clearing vines from the benches, and even repairing some damaged walls. Every move is filled with love and care, and Edmund hopes that through his efforts, the place will be revitalized again. As the night progressed, Edmund sat quietly on a bench in the middle of the garden. He closed his eyes and felt the tranquility and peace around him. In this forgotten corner, Edmund found an indescribable peace that seemed to be able to cleanse the soul and take away all fatigue and sorrow. As Edmund explores this peaceful place, he gradually uncovers several of its secrets. The fountain in the center of the garden, said to be the masterpiece of a famous sculptor centuries ago, is not only a symbol of art, but is also considered a source of good luck. The patterns and symbols carved on the fountain contain ancient prayers for protection and prosperity. The fountain under the moonlight at night is said to be able to reveal the light of some mysterious power, guiding those who look for it to find inner peace and answers. In a hidden corner of the garden, Edmund discovered a small library area filled with ancient books that were considered a treasure trove of long-lost knowledge. This book corner is protected by a complex password lock. Only by unlocking the password can you gain access. Legend has it that these books contain ancient wisdom that can guide people to solve life's confusions and even discover themselves. The gardens are home to many rare and precious plants that are not only beautiful, but also have special meanings and uses. Some plants can glow in the moonlight, adding mystery to the garden at night. Some plants are said to have healing properties and can relieve mental fatigue. In the process of caring for these plants, Edmund gradually learned to listen to their voices and felt a deep connection with nature. In the deepest part of the garden, Edmund stumbles upon a hidden passage covered in dense vines. Braving this passage leads to a secret courtyard where, legend has it, phantoms appear on certain nights, showing the city's past and future. This small courtyard became a place where Edmund thought and meditated late at night, and it was also a sacred place for him to have inner dialogue with himself. These ancient secrets make this garden more than a simple haven. It has become a mysterious link between the past and the future, and between people and nature. Edmund's discovery not only enriched his night exploration, but also gave him unlimited inspiration and power to continue to search for and create beauty in the city of Alves. As Edmund explores and restores the ancient secret garden, this mysterious place hidden on the edge of Alves gradually takes on new life. At night, the garden transforms into a haven of tranquility and beauty, attracting not only Edmund, but also quietly the souls of the city looking for solace and tranquility. In Chapter 5, we will follow Edmund as he spends a night full of peace and hope in this magical garden. As night fell, Edmund walked lightly into the oasis he had restored with his own hands. The moonlight shines on the restored fountain, reflecting soft light and illuminating the surrounding flowers and trees. Every leaf shines with silver luster, as if the entire garden is gently embraced by the moonlight. Next to the fountain, the newly pruned plants and flowers exude a faint fragrance, which meets the night breeze and adds a layer of mystery and tranquility to the space. Edmund walked through rows of neat flower beds and came to the book corner. Here, ancient books appear even more precious under the moonlight, quietly waiting for explorers who are hungry for knowledge and wisdom. After passing the book corner, Edmund came to the entrance of the secret passage deep in the garden. He took a deep breath and then slowly walked along this secret passage towards the mysterious courtyard. The courtyard is extremely quiet at night, as if far away from the hustle and bustle of the world. Here, Edmund felt an indescribable peace, and all his troubles and worries seemed to disappear with the wind. Sitting in the middle of the courtyard, Edmund closed his eyes and let his mind blend with everything around him. He felt the pulse of the earth, heard the night wind, and the gentle whisper of the leaves. At this moment, Edmund seemed to have found a path to the depths of his heart, and his soul was purified and sublimated in this quiet and peaceful environment. It was late at night, and Edmund slowly opened his eyes. Everything around him seemed so clear and beautiful. He stood up, walked gently out of the courtyard, and returned to the garden along the secret passage. On the way back, Edmund's heart was filled with gratitude and hope. He knew that this garden would not only be a haven for his own soul, but would also become a source of comfort and strength for others. The moment he walked out of the garden, Edmund looked back. The stars in the night sky seemed to be blinking at him, and the light of the moon gently illuminated the land he had carefully restored. He knew that no matter how tortuous the road ahead was, this garden would be the spiritual habitat for him and all those in the city who were looking for peace. In this quiet night, Edmund's story ends gently, like a gentle lullaby, leading every listening heart into a sweet and peaceful dreamland. In dreams, the beautiful scenes of the garden and the peaceful atmosphere of the night continue to unfold, bringing endless comfort and hope.